I've left Cusco and I'm just driving a short distance, just an hour, to Valle Sagrado, Sacred Valley, and this is part of it here behind me. Very beautiful, and there's a couple of amazing archaeological things to see. That's going to be next. On the previous episode, I did say that I prefer taking the perfectly laid out roads, but sometimes it can be fun to go on to something slightly less made. I know this is still not very challenging in the grand scheme of things, but it was fun to do something a little bit different, and it was only for a short time. I can cope with this. This is Moray, an incredible ancient Inca site. Lots of Incan artifacts have been found nearby, but the most interesting part of it are these fascinating terraces. Don't think I've ever been anywhere quite like this. Similar places, like with rice terraces in Indonesia, Southeast Asia, but not quite like this. Although actually they don't, apparently I just read, they don't even know if it was for agriculture. But it's Inca, about 500 years old or something. It's not known for sure what they were used for, but most people think that they're for agriculture. The next place of interest to visit was Humantay Lake, another 2 hours drive roughly from Cusco. This is the last village, Moray, before the road ascends right up into the mountains. It's only 24 kilometers from this village up to the hostel that I'm going to be staying at, but Google Maps says this is going to take a whole hour. As the track ascends, it becomes slightly more broken up and the view starts to open up, becoming more and more spectacular. This also means that the drops become more spectacular as well, which yet again doesn't make me feel very comfortable, but with the clouds around, it was more enjoyable than scary. However, as I ascended further and the day was getting later, I started driving into the clouds. I'd much rather not drive on the right side then. At some points the cloud cover became so thick that visibility was really quite low, although this wasn't really an issue with so little traffic coming the other way. It soon became really quite dark,
and that made some parts of the road a whole lot more challenging.
And only slightly wet feet. Hola, sobre Pampa Hostel? Sobre Pampa Hostel? No, it's Hostel sobre Pampa. Sí.
5 minutos pasas un río con un puente.
Perfecto, muchas gracias, señor.
For the last couple of kilometers, the track really did become not very much at all, but I was so close, I could make it. But finally, I reached a point where it became clear I really could not drive any further.
Hola. Hola, mucho gusto.
¿Vas a pasar al frente?
Hostel, sí.
Está acá. Esa esquina que está alumbrando esa casa.
Sí, hostel.
Esa es.
Pero, ¿había? ¿Es aquí?
Sí, sí pasa, pero
Pero había.
el agua de acá está cargada. Con despacio pasa.
So I parked my bike and crossed the river by the footbridge. Here you can see the river I decided not to cross in the fog and the nighttime. In this area of the mountains, you're right in the clouds and they are constantly changing. One moment it's bright and sunny, 10 minutes later suddenly you're in the middle of a cloud. But I came here specifically to see Humantay Lake. Here's the hostel I stayed at, which is at the foot of the hour-and-a-half hike up to Humantay Lake.
I am in Sorepampa. That's my hostel just down the hill there. If I want to walk to Machu Picchu, it's in that valley there. But I'm going up this hill. It's apparently only an hour and a half. I think it will take me longer. And there's quite a view up there, as long as the clouds go.
There are literally hundreds of horses around, and if you really want to cheat, you can take a horse ride to almost the top. But that is cheating, right? I'm going to be walking up very slowly. And finally, I reached the lake, and it is spectacular, although as I said, the cloud cover can change pretty quickly and I never got to see the top of the mountains behind the lake.
Papi, ¿ya me la han hecho bajar? Pregúntamelo. Son dos de Panamá.
The walk up to the lake and down to the bottom again was really quite beautiful, definitely worth it.
Ok, amigos, a la 1, a la 2 y a las 3. Humantay!
The next day, some people from the hostel were setting off to Machu Picchu, another 3 or 4 days hike. I was going to be driving back down the mountain.
Time to leave Humantay Lake. Bike's ready. I'm ready. So ready to descend the mountain. Through a bit of cloud, but not too much. At least it's not raining.
It was good to do this drive again, but in the daytime, so I could actually see what I was doing, which did make it more interesting and slightly less challenging. However, now I was descending in the morning. This is the time when people on day trips from Cusco are arriving. This also means lots of minibuses trying to share the narrow road with me coming the other way.
It's raining a tiny bit, but not sure it's quite enough to put my rain jacket on. As soon as I'm out of these clouds, I'm sure it's going to stop. Those clouds that I'm above. And yeah, the road's fine really. Just when I come up against a van coming the other way, sometimes they really race down here. It looks like they've been going at a reasonable speed today, but yeah, we'll see. As long as I can drive on the right, I'm happy. Because the roads are just a little bit slippery compared to 2 days ago. It's certainly a lot wetter. And when these vans have to pass, I had to be on the outside, resting against the cliff, then yeah, that would be too exciting. Yeah, about 25 more kilometers of this left to do. No problem. My prediction that the rain would get less has not come true at all. I'm more in the cloud, more in the rain. So I've got to put the jacket back on. Really annoying. It's too warm to wear it, but too wet to not. Yay! Just taking a quick break to look at the view. Been a bit exciting, slightly slip-slidey on a few occasions, but I've just stopped to have a look at the lovely view, but also to see why my rear brake isn't working. On motorbikes, the front brake is more important, but the rear brake is definitely useful when you're going downhill on slippery mud, so don't understand that. Let's just enjoy the view.
I think in the end I just was overusing my rear brake, and after giving it a bit of a rest it was working again. And the drive down in the end was fine. I soon got a very big breakfast.
South American town squares are just so lovely. Excuse me. I'm in Moray, halfway down the mountain from Humantay Lake, and yeah, I've just had some breakfast, partly to dry off a little bit, I just asked for breakfast and I was served spaghetti bolognese. So now going to continue down the mountain a little bit, back onto the big road that goes from Cusco to Lima. It's several days to Lima. I'm not going to make it for a while, but I'll just see how far I get today, and hopefully it doesn't rain anymore, although I've just seen the black cloud. Let's see. Well, just an hour or so later, it is absolutely glorious. 26 degrees, blue skies. Driving next to this river, absolutely glorious. And this road is the main road between Cusco and Lima, and it is absolutely glorious. Following along the river down this ravine. I think today's going to be a good day. So, as expected, yep, there's a road blockage, huge queues.